Now, everybody has kind of what is a calling. A calling is something that we have a passion for. We have a drive to make a difference. It's in each and every one of you. You're going to figure it out. You may not understand it right now, but it will come, and you will make a difference in everything that you're doing. And I will attest that Ross McGinnis was no different. It is well known that Ross McGinnis had a calling to serve. Even in kindergarten, he made it known that he wanted to be an Army soldier. His love of country and protecting the ideals that we cherish so dearly, freedom, justice, and equality for all, led him to join the Army right after he graduated from high school. Now, as highlighted by all those who knew him, Ross's decision to join the military was the catalyst that sparked the change in him. He knew he didn't want to go to college, and he saw the Army as an opportunity to give him the education and also the skill that he desired, and also a way of achieving the goal that he aspired in becoming an automotive technician. Now, throughout his high school days, and even during his preparation to enter the Army, Ross applied himself to ensure he obtained a high school degree. He did well in any of the service tests that he had to take, and he also set the standard in the Future Soldier program, which resulted in him being promoted to private first class before he ever entered the service. Now you have to ask yourself, how can somebody that is ordinary, somebody that is described as average, do something so extraordinary in the face of adversity? If you ask anybody who knew Ross or who served with him, they all say pretty much the same thing. He was an average kid, not a standout academically or athletically. He found his calling in the infantry. He quickly embraced his training, and he mastered his craft as a soldier. This transformation in Ross was noticeable to all that knew him. The discipline, the way he carried himself, the confidence, and the maturity. It was clear Ross was committed to his profession, and he was seen as a natural-born leader by all those that knew him, and he was respected and admired by all. Now there is a quote. The quote goes like this: "And the Lord said, who shall I send, and who shall go for us? Then I said, here I am, send me." In my assessment, there is no better passage which expresses the valor Ross displayed on December 4th, 2006, which led to him receiving the United States' highest award for military valor in action, our Medal of Honor. On December 4th, 2006, Ross McGinnis did something extraordinary, something heroic, something born out of the love for his team. He acted not in accordance with the training. See, we train a lot, and he knew what he had to do, and he knew what he had to do instinctively. He knew that his training told him that he needed to evacuate that vehicle. But he didn't do that. He did not evacuate that vehicle. He did not follow his training. Instead, he assessed the situation. He realized that the 4 other team members were in danger, and he sacrificed himself by lying on top of a grenade in order to save the lives of his brothers in arms. So you ask yourself, what would lead the youngest member of this unit to take this selfless, courageous act? I would offer that it was this trust that he had in his teammates, the bond that is formed from serving in a team with a higher purpose. And it is because of the love and passion he had for his team and serving his country. Now, etched inside of every medal bond are the very values that each recipient displayed in that moment that mattered. The bravery, the courage, the sacrifice, the integrity, and a deep love of country and a desire to always do what is right. Now we know that this loss is a heavy burden to bear for the McGinnis family, for this community, and for our country. So Mom and Dad, friends, and also community, the community here, I can only imagine the hole that is in your heart. It must be wider than all of the oceans combined. And not a minute nor a second goes by that you don't think about Ross and you miss him dearly. He is your son, he is from your hometown, and he is your hero. And I also want you to know this. He was part of our Army family. And he is our hero as well, as along with our nation's hero. We are so grateful and we thank you for sharing Ross with us and allowing him to pursue his lifelong dream of serving his country as an American soldier. Now John 15:13 says, "No one has greater love than this, than to lay down one's life for one's friends." And we say, and I've heard often in my Army career, when an American service member is killed in the line of duty, they don't lose their life. They give it. They lay it down for what they love: God, country, family, their fellow troops, and our freedom. I'd also like to share something else with you. I don't know Specialist Ross McGinnis personally, but I do know him through the hundreds of times I've told the story to others while they were in training. So in my job when I was a battalion commander, I was responsible for transforming young men and women into soldiers, similar to the transformational effort that Ross went through when he went to Fort Benning, Georgia. And when these young men and women were questioning whether they possessed the courage, whether they could overcome their adversities, whether they could be a soldier, whether they could be a good teammate, I shared the story of Specialist Ross McGinnis, who was an ordinary, average kid, who made some mistakes along the way, who took extraordinary action that day to save his 4 brothers in arms. Ross McGinnis inspired so many that I trained, and he continues to inspire our young soldiers today. His actions serve as an inspiration and also provide hope to so many. And he is an example of the love for his teammates, for service, and for our country, and more importantly, for you. Now his legacy will continue throughout our history. His story, his sacrifice, but more importantly, the love that he had for his country and for his service will be shared with generations of Americans to come, always to be remembered, and his sacrifice to never be forgotten.